2021 is the 25th anniversary of the Telecommunications Act of 1996, the last comprehensive update to Internet regulation. The Internet has experienced more than a few updates since 1996, but Internet regulations have not. That's why Facebook supports updated regulations on key issues like preventing election interference, protecting people's privacy, reforming Section 230, and more. See Facebook's progress on key issues and what's next at about.fb.com/regulations.
The rich and powerful want us to think the economy is a line on a stock market ticker. That's wrong. The economy is powered by us. It's what we create, what we buy, what we need. President Biden has proposed bold public investments in jobs and families, but more is needed. We need housing, healthcare, caregiving, action on the climate crisis, and millions of good-paying jobs. This is our moment to finally unlock prosperity for all of us. For more information, go to prosperus.org. That's prosperus.org.
Fucking did what they wanted to do.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. But, I mean, that's what I think that it's really all about the vaccine, because you know about the booster shots, right? That's the next step. Like, next year, we're all supposed to get boosters. We're all supposed to get an extra dose, just to top us off, because when the fluid gets low, apparently with vaccines, you just got to get it topped off again.
You see, but I don't even care.
I know, but it is fucking. It's introducing a new element into our society, where actually it's even more than just a society thing. It's almost cultural, because it really feels like I don't hear them pushing AstraZeneca like this overseas. Like, if you take a look at like someone like the Jazeera News and BBC and stuff like that, you don't hear them pushing it like that. I'm not saying that they're not. I could be totally wrong. Like I said, I've only got like 2 news outlets that I look at. Sometimes I look at The Guardian too, but you don't see them pushing it like that. Like they push here in the States, like, oh, every year for the rest of your life, you're going to have to get a COVID vaccine. It's like, really? That's where we're at? Where people are thinking that they have to take this vaccine yearly for the rest of their fucking lives, dude?
Yeah. I mean, you're also not hearing it, but you're also not dealing with a population where you have to incentivize something that could potentially lead to, like, your health, wellness, and freedom with, Chick-fil-A sandwiches and tickets to a fucking Kid Rock concert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
there's such little shit that is done by the general public in this country. Well, we're kind of
you're right the first time. It is a giant
we're basically
fucking
a giant company.
Or one big fucking advertising billboard. You can actually advertise here for, what is it, a few $1 trillion?
Yeah, that's it. You're kind of actually just living in a malfunctioning company. But no, like in this country, so few things are done without it, like you having to incentivize people. Like, it's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that, but what do I get out of it?
Right.
You know what I mean? As opposed to, and by the way, I'm not going to assume the rest of the first world are just amazing, good-natured people who don't question any. But I'd like to think they're probably just a little bit more on the lines of where it's like, hello, friend. If you just do the thing here, we can go and watch cricket.
Don't you think as Americans, we sometimes come down on ourselves a little hard because we're so used to the world hating Americans? Like, that's kind of the MO. Like, America is the country you love to hate, right? And don't you think sometimes that because of that, we lower our own standards of ourselves and we immediately think, well, all these other countries hate us, so they must be right. I get that sometimes. It's almost like a fucking what do they call that? Like a complex, like a
oh, absolutely, we definitely have. Yeah. Well, Mish, what we are is, and this is where it's kind of amazing when you look at it, because it all kind of came to fruition in the early 2000s. And listen, I'm not one for signs or anything like that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but it's kind of amazing how we reached this level of actualization of how selfish we were right around the time when Butt Rock nailed it. Like, we went through that.
You don't think it goes earlier than Butt Rock, dude?
No, I think that's really when
I think it goes back to Nam. There was
but at the apex. I think this is now the apex where you went through the angsty 90s where it's kind of like, I really don't like.
No, I think it's Nam. And the reason I'll say Nam is because we were, we were kicking everybody's ass in World War I, World War II, and then by the time Nam came around, we were so cocky and full of ourselves, and we were in the wrong situation, doing the wrong thing. You know, I think when it comes to America, I think the reason that we get a lot of dislike isn't just because we have fat slobs in this country. I think it's more along the lines of how we're just so cocksure of ourselves. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, if anything, the Nam situation was a wake-up call, and we're still kind of going through the stages of grief, and also compiling that, once again, I said, with our systemic butt rock mentality, where we go and it's just, yeah, I'm a bad boy and I'm just so bad.
Yeah, but doesn't that start with Garth Brooks? Like, I wouldn't even say butt rock. I would say you'd have to start with the Garth Brooks and maybe not the Toby Keith, but the fucking itchy, twitchy twat motherfucker, Billy Ray Cyrus.
Right, but that's at least based around on some level, like,
that was
happiness.
A lot of America loving, though, dude. That was a lot of America loving.
It is, but that's like life and love, and this is my family, and this is my home. Butt rock is very just inward and completely self-involved, and it's just very, going out tonight, and I'm fucking, you're a bitch, and I hate her because she told me that I dump me. Like, it's very, very much so. Like I said, it's somewhere in the stages of grief.
There's nothing wrong with loving your country, Brian. That's not it at all. It's just we have a tendency, like, when was the last time you heard a bunch of French bands playing songs about how awesome France is? You know what I mean? When was the last time that you heard a band out of Egypt going, Egypt is a place to be? You know?
We got so much bread. We got the best bread. And there's bread and cheese.
I'd say North Korea, but I'm sure all the bands just play about how amazing North Korea is. So that's a little different.
Do any of the Scandinavian nations just make songs about how awesome it is to, like, have a 4-day work week and how great it is that they have, like,
I know they got they actually have a really good life up there. They got a stable economy. They've got legalized prostitution. They got mushrooms. Like, what isn't there to like up there?
They're not going to sing about it, though.
Yeah,
they're not going to let you in on that. They don't want you to go there. They're like,
I want to hear some.
Like America rules. You guys stay over there.
I want to hear some Scandinavian butt rock now.
Scandinavia could not make it as a poor man because I was never a poor man. Our minimum, our wage is very fair. We have a very fair wage.
You sure that's Scandinavia, not Kazakhstan?
I don't know. I can't do the voice. I don't know it well enough. I don't know their voices because the only thing I know is Ace of Base, and Ace of Base sounds real happy.
Yeah, she's doing all right?
Ace, it's a beautiful.
Is Kylie Minogue European or was she Scandinavian?
I think she was British, right?
Fuck,
she was Aussie.
Is she? No, Aussie, really?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Oh shit. Okay, all right, fair enough. I'll take that.
She's pretty happy.
She
was happy. She was doing all right.
She was the European Madonna, is what I remember her used to being called.
Oh, that's good for her.
Oh, if she's an Aussie, then that's even better. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, Ace of Base was Swedish. Kylie Minogue was, I guess, was an Australian. ABBA were they Aussies too? I think so. But there's a lot of that music. There's not a lot of sad. Like, obviously, you got, like, death metal and shit comes out.
Oh yeah. Hating churches and shit is all Scandinavian. That's all the rage,
Yeah, that shit is wild over there. But is there a lot of the it's so great,
dude? I can't think of one other country. Like, you know what? Australia. Didn't Australia have a couple of bands that were, like, really pro Australia? Like, there was that one song, "I Come from the Land Down Under," right?
Yeah, oh, the Men Without Hats.
The Men Without Hats.
Was that the Men Without?
They were clearly singing about
how
amazing.
Men at Work. Yeah,
they were clearly singing about how amazing Australia was.
I love the. Oh no, what was the song? "Come On Eileen." Somebody was telling me.
That was Irish, wasn't it?
Yeah, "Come On Eileen" was by Irish dudes, I believe, Irish or Scottish. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Todd in the Shadows, who does like the YouTube shit about one-hit wonders.
Okay,
Scottish, yeah. He has a great channel, by the way. It's, like, super addictive to watch. But I remember he said, he was like, if you listen to the lyrics to Come On Eileen, you hear it and you make the obvious jokes about fucking jizzing on people.
What?
But
That's crazy.
if you pay close attention though, it's kind of like the Scottish Born to Run. It's like a Bruce Springsteen song almost, where it's like, we're going to get out of this town and we're going to run away. Me and you, Eileen, we don't have to be like this anymore. And it's like, wow, it's kind of heavy. I never thought of that.
Man, I'm trying to think of like other countries with butt rock. Like these
They have
patriotic.
butt-
You know what?
Now
Oh my
they
God.
do. Now they definitely do.
You know what? I didn't even think about it. You know, one country that's probably not going to come out with any butt rock anytime soon. Germany.
Oh, well, Germany likes new metal.
Oh yeah, but the
Goth
last
shit
time
and
they came out with
industrial shit.
patriotic music, there was some problems. So, you know.
They put you on a list.
Last time when they came out with an entire radio station full of songs, there was a wee
Yeah,
bit of a train ride.
Yeah, if you make a song and it's just like, Germany is the best, they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That's good and all. But it's real.
Can we dial back that patriotism? All I said was I like this country. Yeah, that's a little too much here, sir.
Yeah, sir. Sir, you can like living here, but let's chill out. We don't need any songs about it. We're doing good over here. Let's keep some eyes off of us for.
Yeah, I really.
It's
don't,
another 30 years.
That is a wild thing. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I guess it makes sense when you really look at it like that, and especially if you're just talking about music in itself. I mean, I think the national anthem is probably known worldwide. The American national anthem.
Well, I mean, the Olympics. They gotta learn that shit from the Olympics. I mean,
Yeah, but can you hum a few bars of the Kenyan national anthem for me, Joe?
The Kenyan one?
Yes, the Kenyan one.
I don't got that one. I don't get that one. All
Yeah.
right. I know "O Canada," which I should
do you?
know. "O Canada."
You should. It's only like about 300 feet from you, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you also know that as. Let's put it this way: I wouldn't expect fans of other sports. I'm not thumbing my nose up or anything, but I'm not expecting fans of, let's say, football or maybe baseball to an even lesser extent to not know the Canadian national anthem. But if you watch hockey regularly, you're gonna learn.
Yeah,
it.
baseball too, though. You're right. I mean, somebody likes the Expos, or did.
Dead. Somebody liked baseball at one point too, or
Did.
Dude, I'm watching the end of the NBA Finals right now, right? And we'll start the actual show in a minute and talk about random wrestling bullshit. But I'm watching the end of the NBA Finals, and I'm like, hey man, here we are back watching fucking basketball again. And by the way, if you're watching like high stakes basketball games, it's some of the most rigged shit you've ever seen in your life.
Why do you put yourself through that anymore?
I don't know.
Why do you do it?
Least,
You know that most of this shit is fucking rigged, dude.
It's all I got now, man. What am I going to watch?
Well,
baseball?
the Olympics
I'm not
is coming
watching
up. The Olympics is coming up, and there's always college sports. You know what? And I know people fucking argue that college sports is rigged too, but I think it's a lot more difficult when there's like 300 fucking teams.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So,
Dude, if I don't got my hockey and I don't got my football, basketball.
you got to be happy. What was it? The Lightning won this year. That's good, right?
Yeah, that was fine. That was fine. I was expecting that to happen.
Really? Tampa Bay just sweeping the year for everybody, huh?
Well, they
Sweeping the COVID year.
They got a good team down there. They spent $18 million over the cap. So
was Tom Brady out there working as a center or something? You know, maybe.
Hey, he's good luck Chuck when it comes to championships. Did you see that spreadsheet?
So Tampa Bay is the new New England, then, huh?
Well, Tampa Bay might not be the new New England, but there's certainly a lot of us down there. There are a lot of transplants. I will say that. At least I can take some sort of solace in that, where you go, oh, well, a lot of people sitting in the crowd at the Lightning games and the people sitting in the crowd at the Bucks games, they're New Englanders.
Yeah.
They're old people. They moved down there when they retired, or maybe they like inherited a house from their fucking grandma that died that she bought for like 3 sacks of potatoes and now it's worth $2.5 million. And they said, fuck living in this state. I'll go somewhere warm, which I totally understand.
Fuck the housing market right now. I'll just be honest with you on that shit. Florida
It's
might be the
humiliating.
last place. Dude, everything is going up. Did you see the fucking prices of inflation? Everything has gone up.
Of course, yeah.
Just from last year to this year, buying a used car has gone up 18% on average.
Yeah, that's
buying
that's
a used fucking car in 1 year has gone up 18%. Food inflation has gone up. I think it was like they reported 1%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but then you think about all the fucking food in the entire U.S. That's a lot. That's a lot of money coming out of food.
yeah. Well, that's our main. That's like the main
Gas.
thing that I feel like people spend money on here anyway.
Gas went up. I think it was like 8% overall on the average. So gas went up 8%. There was a couple other things too, but yeah, everything. The inflation is coming in, and it's almost like they're punishing everybody for getting these stimulus checks.
No, it's not almost. That's pretty much exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like
Although they did talk about a new check coming, Joe. Did you hear about that? A fourth check incoming.
But once again, like, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? If you just got to make everything more expensive, anyways, like I don't know. Like it's just you just see that it's the same thing as you remember when you were a kid and you'd get a card for like your birthday from somebody in your family and they'd have like $20 in it.
Yeah.
And when you're a little kid, you're like, oh man, $20, that's fucking crazy. And now someone will give you $20 and you'd be like, cool. Like you wouldn't be like, this is so much money.
Yeah. You know what's weird when people return that? I've done that the other day. My brother, you know, I got him, his kiddo turned 1, got him a bunch of gifts and stuff like that for the kiddo. And I threw $20 in the card. And he returned the $20. I'm like, why did you do that? I'm like, dude, it's just like, you know, buy some fucking Pampers or something. Like it was a nothing burger of a thing to put in the card. It's just $20. You know, he's like, no, I can't accept it. And I don't know. It threw me off because it's like, it would be one thing if you put in like $200 fucking dollars and they're like, I can't be indebted on that. I'm like, dude, it's $20 fucking bucks.
$20 is like taking a kid to lunch at McDonald's at this point.
It's like buy some fucking butt wipes, you know? I know what that is. It's not like, here, I'm bringing you a kingdom in a chest, you know? It's like, nah, dude, I bought the kiddo some gifts and I fucking threw a 20 in there. I'm just like, just what it is, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, that's legit. Like giving for like, well, you know, for like a 1-year-old, that's like buying him an outfit at fucking Old Navy or something. Like that's,
dude. It wasn't
helpful.
supposed to be anything big. It was just supposed to be here's covering some tax for something.
Right. Well, that's it. That's what sucks is now you look at certain things and. Oh my God! I had this conversation with myself in my head, and me and you have talked about this many times. Where people talk about, you know, if you got X amount of money, would it be life changing or whatever? And now I'm at the point where I go, oh my God! In my area, if I got say I got a scratch ticket and I won $500,000 after taxes, like just picked one out, got it at the fucking gas station. You know, got my coffee in my hand. Fuck it, I'll play it. Go to the car. I win $500,000. I would be ecstatic, but with that, I would be able to almost buy a house. That's so fucking depressing. Just to say it like that.
Well,
like,
no, with $500,000, you can buy a house.
No,
yeah, you can.
Not right now.
300. I mean, okay, all right.
Not around here, bud.
Well,
it's insane. It's fucking bananas. It's legitimately. I was actually sending this to my friend Vince earlier. I was showing him fucking houses that are kind of like within 20-mile radius of me, and they're $700,000, $800,000, $900,000, dude.
Yeah. No, there's definitely expensive shit out there. But what I was trying to say is that there's definitely states that you can get by $500,000 easy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm like. You'd have to go. Like for around me, you'd have to fucking. Leave.
I was talking about this. So, do you know who Louis Rossman is?
No.
All right. So, Louis Rossman's been running like the right to repair stuff on Apple products for like years. He usually does like a lot of stuff with like Linus Tech Tips, like computer nerd guys. And his big thing is now that COVID is over and stuff like that, he wants to buy a business in New York City. He wants to move his business around New York City. And all these fucking buildings, right? They're all fucking liars. Like, all these landlords are full of shit. They're like, you got to buy it now. It's like 1,000 square feet or 2,000 square feet for like $40,000 a month. And first off, which blows my fucking mind that businesses cost that much. But in New York City, in certain areas, I think he was like in West Village or some shit like that is one of the areas he's looking. And he's pointing out the fact that all these landlords, like all these businesses are shut down. Like tons and tons of just empty stores of businesses. And these landlords are not even adjusting their prices to the post-COVID world. So they're trying to charge pre-COVID prices to people that are trying to start up new businesses in the area to regrow revenue. And instead of adjusting their prices, they're just leaving empty stores and just paying the fucking mortgages and the taxes and the fucking permits and shit on these places.
Right, because God forbid they take any sort of loss whatsoever. Because Mish, it's owned by people with so much money that they're like, I'd rather sit around and wait to be able to gouge you than to give you a deal and make a little something.
Dirty Bird says it best. And I think that's exactly what Lewis said too. New York City looks like a dying mall. That's insane. It's fucking New York City. It's the mecca of American society, of civilization. And it's literally falling apart because New York government apparently isn't adjusting anything, and they're charging more even in some environments, like for permits and stuff like that. And the landlords aren't changing their prices. So it's kind of like, well, how the fuck do you expect this city, this mecca, to survive if nobody's adjusting for what the fuck is going on in the world? It's almost like, isn't it better to have half the rent than no rent? Like, I don't understand that, you know?
Well, Mish, New York City is such a fucking nightmare at this point that it's not really, or a lot of the property is not owned by people that even live in the country.
Right.
So they don't care. They just don't care. So, and once again, I mean, we're dealing at this point like a pipe dream, especially seeing where I live now and what it's become, where it's the idea of, well, it's nice to have landlords and sell to people that are kind of local and invested in the community and kind of care. But that just doesn't exist anymore. It's just developers buying shit up, renting it out at an inflated rate, then taking that money, investing it in land, buying condos that look like gray gulags and selling them for fucking $750,000 a piece. One
of the favorite videos that he had up there was this agent. So he has a machine, like a device, that can tell you how many square feet is in a place. Like it measures it from wall to wall. It's a digital device. And this agent's like, yeah, you just have to get used to them lying. So they'll tell you 2,000 feet, but in actuality, it's only 1,700. You have to pay. And he was paying, I think it was $75 per square foot over 300 square feet that was missing. And he's like, I don't understand why in the hell I have to pay that. And she's like, well, that's just part of doing business in New York City. And I'm like,
yeah, it's just being lied to.
And that's per month. So 75 per square foot for 300 feet equals how much? Of money that you're literally throwing away because it doesn't exist. It's space that doesn't exist. And she's like, well, you have to count the hallways. But you know what I mean? But it's like, these aren't places of business. Why do you have to count those?
Dude, New York City and places like that are they're going to drop off anyways, dude. Because once the businesses aren't there and there's not money to be made there and the jobs aren't there, people are just going to not fucking bother.
But it's already happening. That's what I'm saying is like this last year.
Oh, yeah. It's
because, I mean, in Chicago, I can tell you in Chicago, going around Chicago, there's a lot of businesses that closed up. But there's a lot of small businesses that stayed the fuck alive. And I don't know how, but they did. And I'm assuming that Chicago had a lot of credit that they gave to business owners in order to keep them alive. I think Chicago kind of did the right thing. Mayor Beetlejuice is a weird person, but it seems like for the most part everything is suffering. Everyone is suffering, but we're still fucking moving. But then you see all these videos around New York City and it's like, wow, this place is really getting shut the New York City is quickly becoming Detroit.
Well, it's not, dude, all of these major cities that are in this country that aren't being basically revitalized by hipsters and millennials and people that are coming in with like 2 nickels to rub together and, you know, build something and make something are gonna start looking shittier and shittier. Yeah. They're on the decline. That's why, you know, people think about some of these certain areas of the country that are popping off, and it's like, well, how did that happen? It's like, because they were initially cheap and they had little bits and little gems that were kind of hidden, and people just moved there more and more and more. And it's like what Nashville is. That Nashville popped off because of everybody living in different parts of the South and parts of the Northeast, where they're going, oh my God, I'm getting completely fucking raked over the coals. All I really want is a city where I can get an okay job. The weather is okay. It doesn't even have to be amazing.
New York
I have
City
a little bit of space and a little bit of culture.
The businesses that expand into New York City. Businesses that become popular and make a lot of money expand closer towards the East Coast. Or alternatively, obviously, California, the West Coast too. They don't stay in Middle America. There are plenty of Middle America businesses. Chicago is that part of Middle America where a lot of businesses go. But for the most part, you're expanding either towards the east or towards the west. That's how business expansion looks. So when you're sitting there saying, Kentucky or fucking places in Ohio or PA, absolutely right. But the goal is New York City. So what happens when the goal is dead? You know what I mean? Like, it's either going to create new cities and new environments, and that might be a potential thing. But you have to wonder, are they going to do anything in order to fix any of that? You know? No. They're going to attempt, I think, to encourage big business, because this fucking country just loves big businesses so much that it's the same exact thing as like, dude, try to go get a fucking flight somewhere right now. I was talking to you about this the other day. Where it's like, oh, I want to go visit my friends. Speaking of Nashville, I want to go visit my friends down there. On average, I can get a pretty decent, round trip ticket, nonstop, anywhere from $200 if I'm, flying the red eye, which I don't mind doing. Flying a red eye and then coming home either early or late. Like I said, $200 to $250, right? Yeah. Now $750, $800 to fly out on a Wednesday. Like, it's like, yeah, it's a complete fucking ripoff. By the way, these same exact fucking companies, these fucking airlines, got billions of dollars from the government. Oh yeah, don't worry, we got you, Delta Airline. And then the second that they can start running flights again, they're like, oh, time to resume the gouging. Like, it's fucking pathetic, because we're so absolutely obsessed in this country with just giving rich people that don't fucking understand what they're supposed to do next, like, billions upon billions of dollars. And by what to do next, I mean actually use the money for what it's given for. Like, it's like, oh, this money is being given to you so that way you can actually keep the shit afloat and keep people, financially steady that work within your company. And they're like, wait, what's that? Just put it in our bank account? Just put it in our bank account. It's like, no. You need to actually give it to people that need the money, that work for you. And they're like, wait, what's that? Oh, when the flights start again, charge 10 times the fucking price? It's like, yeah, no. Wait, who's
Ever wanted to break out of your cubicle and into a business where you can call the shots? iFix is looking for passionate self-starters interested in a franchise opportunity in the booming electronics repair industry. At iFix, we help reconnect people to the devices that they rely on so that they can get back to what matters most. This is a big responsibility, and from the moment you join our family, our franchisees are provided with the resources and support to bring affordable and convenient electronics repair to your community. Did we mention that with amazing partners like Samsung and Google, iFix franchisees also have access to the highest quality parts and personalized training out there, as well as specialized tools? It's true. And it's also easy to visit ubreakifix.com/franchising and learn more about your big break at your very own iFix.
Streaming only on Peacock.
John Wayne Gacy killed 32.
Straight from the killer's mouth.
They want you to believe that I alone committed these murders.
The new gripping 6-part documentary series, John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise. All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock.
The rich and powerful want us to think the economy is a line on a stock market ticker. That's wrong. The economy is powered by us. It's what we create, what we buy, what we need. President Biden has proposed bold public investments in jobs and families, but more is needed. We need housing, healthcare, caregiving, action on the climate crisis, and millions of good-paying jobs. This is our moment to finally unlock prosperity for all of us. For more information, go to prosperus.org. That's prosperus.org.
To start this shit.
Did I hurt someone's? Did I make someone sad?
Yeah, they're mad that we're talking about things that aren't wrestling. It's
Well,
like,
what did I make someone sad about by saying people are getting gouged?
Yeah,
Like, that's
apparently because, it's us talking about things that have nothing to do with our show. How dare you talk about things that you've seen and are interesting to you on your show, Joe?
Well, that's what makes that funny to me. Is it's just like, this is the liberal? Is it really a liberal thing? I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't bother me.
Hey,
You know what, Liz?
Pull your tampon out, dude.
It's been a half hour of us meandering about. I guess we can.
Oh, I know. I just find that
Dude,
shit
I love
fucking
that. But see, I
hilarious.
love talking about this shit. I know this is like the Frank and Gus kind of stuff. We didn't get to do a Frank and Gus this week. And I guarantee you if we did a Frank and Gus this week, because you were sick. I mean, I told people about this in the Discord
my
chat.
sinuses were...
Yeah, I said you had some fucking allergy shits. There's some changes going on. There's changes going on in Joey's body. And,
I'm becoming very old.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what's
I
going
don't
on.
think that. But it's allergies. It's been a fucking... I think everybody's getting rained on. I talked to my fucking mom earlier today, and she's like, yeah, it's storming here in Arizona. It doesn't normally do that. It only does that like 3 times a year. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty gross everywhere. It's been gray here almost all week. On the East Coast, I know it's been gray there all week. So it's kind of like it's just a giant storm cloud over the entire country is what it seems like. So, but normally we talk about this shit on Frank and Gus. So, yeah, you know what? If you're listening to this and you're like, what the fuck are these assholes talking about? This would be a Frank and Gus. It would. It would have been a Frank and Gus show,
You gotta love America. If you don't love everything, then you're a terrorist.
Now, sing it.
If you don't like everything about America, that means you're AOC. That's how it goes.
Now do it in a Scottish accent.
Oh, and if you don't love America, that means that you want to hit it with a sword. Like Drew
With a
hit that
sword.
table.
With a sword.
You want to hit it with a sword made from Loch Ness Monster's teeth. Fucking pathetic.
All right.
Absolutely pathetic. Away we go.
And a 1. And a 2. And a file not found.
Hell yeah, no files.
That's where we are, folks.
Wrestling Soup is intended for a mature audience. What? We like to use naughty words.
Good evening, Saints. I would sincerely like to thank you all for coming out to church tonight. The ushers are passing around the collection plate, which basically means donate to the Patreon. Will you pray with me? We have Anthony, Missionary, Thomas, and Joseph, both of the hosts of a show that is so explosive. Go to the Patreon and donate paper for access to global voting with John Draper and Mass with Miss. You bastards listen to the masochistic pastor that's blasphemous. And if you assholes are looking for an ass to kiss, then Joey Numbers got the math for this. It adds like this.
You take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning. But then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. See, Joe, numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you. See, but I'm gonna break it down for you later.
It does kind of sound like our math, doesn't it?
Or would you rather be with Joe?
There's a lot of math to be had now.
There is.
Dude.
There's a lot of math. What's going on, Joe? What's going on, everyone? Wrestling Soup. I'm Anthony Missionary Thomas. And,
It's Thursday night. It's there. This is the
is.
night for this.
Thursday.
It's getting hot in her.
What's
going on?
It's not even the heat. It's the mugginess. Everything is fucking sticky. I can't go to the fucking store without just right off the fucking leather seats. Just, ugh. And then they bake in there. Everything bakes. You jump into the car, and it's like the worst feeling ever. It's all the humidity. I can handle the heat. It's the humidity.
See, I'd rather be hot than cold. I'm getting to that point.
Oh,
I'd rather be a little bit too warm than a little bit too cold. I'm getting sick of it.
Really?
Sick of this shit, man. Oh yeah.
No, I still
And by
love
the way,
cold.
it wasn't even cold this year, and I'm still like, yeah, fuck this. I'm all set. I don't need any more of this cold shit. I don't know.
I don't blame you. I don't fucking blame you. But I do like the cold. Although, it's the heat would be fine if it was just the summer. But shit. So what's been going on in wrestling? I heard AEW had a really good show yesterday. They got, what was it, 1.8 million watched?
Did they really?
Something like that. 1.8 or 1.08 maybe.
Is it 1.08 or 1.8? There's a big difference.
Okay, well, Rob is saying 1.025.
So what is it? 125. Well, if they got over 1 million people, then I guess good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, is that enough? Well, let's see. We got the hot off the presses here.
Yeah, for the Fighter Fest. So
Fighter Fest. So this is like one of those the way WWE is giving out, fake pay-per-views or whatever. Yeah. This is like their fake pay-per-view that they're doing right now.
That's good for them, though.
I don't care.
I watched little bits and pieces of it. I'm glad that Hangman Page got to smack around the Young Bucks for a couple seconds. That made me smile.
They've decided to make him not look like a complete wet towel again.
Yeah. It's his turn again to get a little exposure. So I was happy to watch him get that. So good for him.
Oh, good. He's not like a weird, flaky alcoholic being followed around by guys in purple clothes.
Shit.
Yeah. That whole thing was shit. All right. So good. They're actually deciding to push him once again.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
So are they attempting to make him serious, or are they just going to have it be like Kenny Omega knocked over his drink while he was having a Shirley Temple at the bar because he's so silly?
Well, Omega did get him from behind, so.
So wait, okay. So was it in a bar or was it?
No, it was in the ring. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and that is a good point there, Austin. The cowboy shit got over in Texas. Who would have thought? You are correct, sir. I guess that kind of does point that out, too. So, I wish he came out with his horse, though. It was kind of sad that he didn't come out on the horse.
Well, they probably realized at some point having a man whose entire gimmick is that he's drunk to put him on a horse is probably... But then again, it's AEW, so they probably...
It's also Texas. So, I mean...
Yeah, that's good. I know, they're like, sir, are you about to ride that horse? Like, yeah. Have you had any alcohol today? No. Why? Why?
Why is your horse sober, sir? What?
They need a 3-drink minimum to get on this horse. That's the rule.
Your horse has to be Timmy Uso drunk.
You see the horse neighing, it's oosing?
Yes, yes.
Did you get? We brought you over one of them Polynesian horses.
Yeah, don't you remember?
It's got a mullet for some reason, and
it's Jay, Jimmy, and Timmy.
Jay, Jimmy, and Timmy. This is the third Uso as a horse. It's needless to say, we say to it, "Can you stand on one foot and touch your very long nose?" Yeah, it's good for him. I'm glad that they're going to attempt to make him seem somewhat serious again.
Yeah,
I like him. I think he's fucking super talented, and the way that they
really, I didn't know that you were into Hangman Page. That's cool. Dude.
I think he's good. It's just what has there been to get behind?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like right down to even.
He makes me miss America's Most Wanted. I know that's a weird fucking thing to say, and I'm talking about at the peak of America's Most Wanted, not the rehashed versions. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, dude, even just removing the whole drinking gimmick, he's doing something in wrestling, even with the cowboy thing. Vince doesn't even contemplate doing something like that anymore, which is funny because WWE, you think, they love their tropes or whatever. Yeah. They don't even have, they get a Southern guy like AJ Styles now, and they're like, what can we do to not address that they're Southern at all? Like, none of that should exist. So he has the capability of doing and being something that you're definitely not going to see on the other channel. Mm-hmm. And he actually looks like a wrestler, and he's good in the ring.
He's a good talker too. I think the guy's pretty funny. Like he's got a good charisma. You know?
Oh yeah. He's a dude that if they don't decide to do something with, it's going to be very fucking sad.
Yeah.
Because you go, not that WWE was going to do anything brilliant with them, because they'd probably go there and they'd say, "Oh, is he a cowboy?" You go, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, can we make him I don't know, like a landscaper?" Like they just try to come up with something as asinine as humanly fucking possible first. You know what I mean?
So you're a cowboy, huh? How are you at cutting a bush?
Right. You know what's close to being a cowboy is someone that works outside, and you know what they wear? Cowboy hats.
You know what? Since you're a cowboy, how are you at horse doctoring? Can you doctor a horse?
We got Timmy Uso here, and we're going to need you to help out.
Somebody's got to milk Timmy Uso's prostate again.
He's having a hard time over there. Oh no, I'm glad.
How would you even do a wrestling gimmick? You just bring out the horse and you just start yakking him off in the middle of the fucking ring. See, that means I'm a horse doctor. Look at me jerk off this horse.
Yeah, and then Britt Baker comes out. She's like, "I'm the only doctor here," and that's not how you do it.
Oh yeah. Sure
You're a teeth doctor. Get out of here.
Are you implying she knows a lot about yakking off horses?
No.
Okay. All right.
That's terrible.
That's
she's a tooth doctor.
It's more of a donkey show at that point, but you know.
Yeah, that's more of a Sunny thing.
Hey, maybe that could be her new partner on OnlyFans, huh?
Oh my god!
Just get her a donkey.
Timmy Uso?
No, get her a donkey. Like seriously, if Tammy really wants, like, we'll get into this. We'll get into this, but just the thought process, like all the fucking different submissions of dudes sending Tammy their sexiest pics and giving her like notices and letters and of course voicemails that we will be playing here today. You ever think that Tammy could just do a donkey show, a one-woman donkey show on OnlyFans?
I think she doesn't even have to, because at this point she doesn't even need to feed an animal.
Right.
She's just taking pictures of her feet at this point. You know what I mean?
Well, no, she's looking to do more than that. She's looking to get back on the horse, Joe.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Back in the saddle again. Yeah. Did you see that she got booked by AIW, that indie out of Ohio?
Yeah.
People are actually going to start booking.
Yeah. There's people that are going there. I actually, you know what? I think it's Eddie that's going there. Yeah, Eddie, you're going there, right? Is there any way that I can get you to have her sign a food processor? I would really like it if she could sign a food processor.
And then we'll auction the food processor.
Fuck yeah, I'll do it for charity. We will auction off a food processor for charity.
What's the charity? The Jimmy Uso. The next time he gets arrested, then we can
Jimmy Uso bail fund. Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should start a Jimmy Uso bail fund from the sales of the food processor, and then take that and invest it in cryptocurrency.
Maybe we could buy one of those fancy WWE NFTs that go for $100,000.
Oh, no. Well, this has got to be classier. You know what I mean? I think we should use that. Well, shouldn't we invest in the splooge coin or whatever it's called? Wouldn't that be the smart thing to do?
Splooge coin, fart coin, yeah.
What is the porn one again? Was it cum coin or something?
Yeah,
like that?
I think it's splooge or some shit like that.
Yeah, you can tell that's the one that's going to be taken seriously. Cool. The market calls for such an investment.
The Sunny fart coin. We can come up with our own crypto.
Oh,
although mining it is going to be a little difficult.
No, it's not. You just get her Chipotle. That's all you gotta do.
Extra beans, sir.
Chipotle fix that up real fast. Yeah. Make sure that we get that in there, and it'll be okay. Nah,
AEW.
Oh yeah, that's a company. They're doing stuff.
Yeah, their tickets are actually on sale. Just to let people know, if you are going to All Out in Hoffman Estates, not to be confused with Chicago, They went on sale a couple days ago. So
I thought that they sold out. They sold out the Texas show, right?
Yeah, there's the Dynamite on September 1st, Rampage on September 3rd. All Out is on the AEW Rampage.
Oh, okay.
Not to be confused with the Brad Maddox video Rampage.
Okay.
Yes.
I was going to say, not to be confused with the classic video game where the two monsters are fucking up the building.
Ah, yes. Actually, wasn't it 3? Wasn't it like there was a Godzilla monster, there was a gorilla monster, and then what was the third monster? There was 3.
I think the third
wolf.
monster.
Yes, Lightning. It was a wolf. It was a giant werewolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember the old arcade. It wasn't like made by Taito Arcade or some shit.
Yeah. See, I thought the third monster was. Never mind.
Oh, was it?
I was going to make another Jimmy Uso joke, but I figured we've done enough. I was going to say his looming.
Poor
looming
Naomi,
elbow.
huh? Did you see all that shit? And I talked about that a little bit with DT on Breakfast Soup, but that really is fucked up. I'm like, what do people expect her to do? Not protect her man? Not be offended when people fucking blame her for the problems?
No, she just dipped from social media, right? She didn't fucking.
Yeah, no, she didn't. But people were fucking going at her pretty hard.
Of course they were.
She dipped and she closed it down. But it's kind of like, and I said this to fucking DT. I'm like, dude, he's a grown ass man. It's not Naomi's job to fucking babysit him and make sure that everything is perfect and whatever. He's a grown-ass man making grown-ass bad decisions. Right. It's Naomi's job to stand by his side and fucking help him back up. And hopefully help him get some actual fucking help.
Right. Well, what is she supposed to... Once again, what is she supposed to do? She can't sit there, like, she can't lock the guy in the fucking house.
Dude, the way people were talking, they wanted her to fucking slap the bottle out of his hands or some shit.
Right.
You know, it's like, that's going to be a real healthy relationship.
Well, this is also it too, man. And this is if you work in a bar or you're in any sort of service related environment, you watch people become alcoholics and then you watch them get worse. And it's like clockwork.
No, but you brought that up before last week, which was the liability of the establishments.
Oh yeah, that too. 100%. But like what I'm saying is like you watch that happen from afar as somebody that just anybody who's listening to this, a fucking bartender will tell you that story over and over and over again. But there's a point where, like I said, you watch it get worse and worse and worse, and you know that you can't do anything about that.
Right.
You're not going to be able to do anything about that. Like, and their significant others, most of the time, the only option they're going to be left with pretty much is to leave them at some point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And people saying that shit too. People were encouraging her to leave him too. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Which is also not their business.
It's but I mean, it's just gross to even say that. It's like, so you want her to bail at the first sign of trouble? You want to have this belief and put this in her head that she should leave her husband, the man that she fucking loves, because he clearly needs help? What kind of a chicken shit coward fucking response is that?
Not only is that a shitty response, but it's also like you as somebody that doesn't even know that person.
Right.
That's very fucking weird.
Right.
That's just very, very weird. It's hard. I mean, man, we've all been in a situation where our best friends date people that you're sitting there going, not the best fucking idea. Let alone complete strangers that are married.
And I understand it's fucking social media. I understand people are hidden by the armor of the internet. I get that. But it's like even more so, and this is something that always confuses me. If you're hidden by the armor of the internet, wouldn't you say what you really feel? Because I don't think that can't be real. Do you think people really feel that way? I think it's more troll shit.
It's definitely troll shit.
Right.
But it's
not people
it's
that
also a matter of
feel
like,
that way.
There's a lot of people that I don't want to say they haven't encountered this type of shit in their lives, but even if they have, they haven't handled it healthily themselves, so they're in no place to offer advice to other people.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
People
like
fucking standing on their soapbox with no fucking definition of what's actually going on. I get that.
Oh, dude.
You're totally right.
Who hasn't worked with a woman who's like the first person to be like, you got to leave that guy, and then you're like, this bitch gets treated like shit.
Right.
You've met her husband, you've met her boyfriend, and she gets treated like absolute dog shit. But she's sitting there like, what happened? What did he do? He couldn't come to your mother's birthday party because he was deployed in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You got to dump that motherfucker. What a bum! You got to dump that bum. You're like, everybody knows those people.
Yep, she's just out there fucking Jody. So. But that's the thing, and that's what it is so, like, yeah, no, I understand the internet is a place for horrible fucking responses, but it's just weird to me that somebody that people are supposed to care about, like, and I understand that it's only a casual, relationship between the fan and the actual entertainer, but at that same point, you think that people would care enough to say, man, you really should try and find him some help, or how are you doing? Why wasn't there more of those? How are you handling it, Naomi? Are you okay? Like, that would have been the correct response in that situation to A, garner any kind of points from Naomi, and B, to maybe even get a response going, I'm hanging in there, Like, it's just, but people don't think like that. They're like, you gotta leave him. Oh, what a horrible fuck up. Why did you let him do that? It's your fault that he drinks so much. It's like, you people are fucked up.
Yeah, and the fact, I'm glad she just said, "Yeah, I'm out of here."
Good, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the right thing to do.
I didn't mean to go down this tangent, but weird.
No, but it's you see and you hear shit like that. And by the way, none of that surprises me. That does not surprise me for a tenth of a second.
Because it's shock factor. It's troll bullshit.
Of course,
it would shock me more if somebody really fucking believed half the shit that was being said. That would be shocking, because then it's like, wow, you are genuinely a fucked up human being. You are a individual that needs to really reassess your ethics and your morality. Because
if you have a family relying on your income, you need life insurance. But finding the best quote shouldn't take a lifetime. That's where Policy Genius comes in. In minutes, Policy Genius could save you 50% or more simply by comparing quotes from America's top insurers. Once you apply, the Policy Genius team handles all the paperwork and red tape. To save on life insurance and get protection for you and your family, head to policygenius.com today.
2021 is the 25th anniversary of the Telecommunications Act of 1996, the last comprehensive update to Internet regulation. The Internet has experienced more than a few updates since 1996, but Internet regulations have not. That's why Facebook supports updated regulations on key issues like preventing election interference, protecting people's privacy, reforming Section 230, and more. See Facebook's progress on key issues and what's next at about.fb.com/regulations.
Streaming only on Peacock.
John Wayne Gacy killed 32.
Straight from the killer's mouth.
They want you to believe that I alone committed these murders.
The new gripping 6-part documentary series, John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise. All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock.
If you think that any of these responses to a woman that's clearly suffering, okay, and on fucking TV in the middle of all this shit too, right? So she's on TV doing her fucking job in the middle of this. Meanwhile, she has her husband who's clearly going through some major level shit. He has one of the most common fucking diseases in the U.S., alcoholism, and whether he's admitted that he has a problem or, he hasn't admitted, he's clearly in need of help on a level that she can't afford. So she has to watch the man that she loves fucking deteriorate right before her eyes, maybe lose his job, maybe fucking separate himself from the rest of the family. His brother's got to be pissed, and fucking Roman's got to be pissed because they were in this giant angle with him.
Oh,
yeah. So it's like, you're not just fucking up your life, dude. You're fucking up everybody's life around you. And then people are going to go after Naomi for it? Like, man, it's... Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so dirty. I wouldn't be surprised if Roman and... I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Rikishi got fucking comments about it.
Oh no, they both absolutely did. I'm sure they did, and I'm sure it wasn't even like ribbing type shit, like it being like, oh,
right,
hey.
like a bad joke, like we do.
Yeah, right. Right. Like I'm sure it wasn't even like it's like, hey, you're the chief leader. Hope you got another driver there, chief, or something like. I'm sure those jokes happened. And by the way, yeah, maybe not the best, but also not sitting there being like, your cousin's a piece of shit. I hope he fucking wraps his car around a tree. Like, dude, this is not the time for that.
Right.
It's not the fucking time. But
well,
yeah,
This, speaking of the fucking fandom and shit like that, I made a response to Gail Kim the other day, and it's just a random Twitter post saying wrestling fans are just more cutthroat now. They're so fucking spoiled, it's pathetic. I mean, it's like, just enjoy the amazing talents in the ring by clapping and cheering. It's not that difficult. And Gail Kim responds, she's like, well, then, so my question is, if they loved a particular wrestler who worked for WWE and got released and went to other companies, do they hate them now? And she was being genuine about the question, and I had to respond because it just seemed like the only way to respond to this. It depends on their fanaticism. I think that there's some of these fans feel genuinely betrayed when a wrestler works elsewhere.
Which is so weird, especially when you're fired. Like, what are you going to do, not work? You
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's like one of those weird things. Like, that happens in sports, too. Like, it's like, are you going to get mad at a guy because the team traded him? Like, what are you going to do?
But they do with shit in football. You see that shit happen all the time.
Yeah,
All the fucking time.
fuck you for getting traded.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what? Why are you going to get mad at them? It's not, they didn't have a choice in the matter.
Right.
Unless they requested a trade, then maybe you can be a little salty about that, I guess. But I don't know. That's just very odd to me.
Yeah.
But then you're also dealing with so much bullshit in that situation. If you're really genuinely angry, like you say, so and so, they're a sellout.
Right.
They're a sellout. Like, it's like, dude, what year is this?
Shit, Ziggler
What year
fan
is this?
is right.
Everyone's sold out. Everything is gone. Every sense of dignity you've ever had, like, oh, this person's not gonna. It's like, dude, there's advertisements on everything. You're not gonna find any dignity.
Ziggler fan says CM Punk got fired on his wedding day and got called a quitter. Of course, we know about that.
Oh, yeah.
A quieter.
He's a quieter.
Yeah, quieter. Zoider says, over here in soccer players can go from teams idle to having their replica shirts burned. And it's the Irish soccer clubs, or what do they call them, soccer hooligans? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the big thing for them.
Right.
That's like their biggest.
And that is
thing.
wild that's how fanaticism works, because it's not even adopting the idea that this is a fantastic player that other teams obviously fucking want and will put a shit ton of money down in order to accrue their talents. They don't look at it like that. It's, he left because he doesn't love us anymore. It's like abandonment. It's like abandonment syndrome or something. It's like, Daddy doesn't love us. He went out for the store for cigarettes and he never came home.
Well, but that's it. Is like, on some slight level, I get that, just because there's so many people that sports are kind of all they got at some point. And some people, whatever form of entertainment it might be, and God help you if it's wrestling. I mean, wrestling is whatever. If you're,
but how do you have? Okay, all right, and I get that, and you're talking about the fanaticism of it, but you have to break it down. How can you have fanatics, team fanatics, that love their city team no matter what, and that's the key word here. Whether they're good, whether they're bad, rain or shine, doesn't fucking matter. And then you have fanatics that, as soon as some of the players leave or they change or God forbid they retire, all of a sudden it's like, fuck this team. This team blows. Like, how can you have such drastic forms of fanaticism and both completely be the exact opposite sides of the field? No.
Oh, I get the anger at it. I don't get to. I get some of the anger that people have in those situations, but also at the same time, like I said, if they're firing you when you're going somewhere else, what the fuck are you going to do?
Right. Yeah, we're not mad. Nobody's mad at Malachi Black for showing up in AEW. If anything, people are more upset that WWE didn't realize the potential that fans saw.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is probably the right way to be. I think it's more the correct way to be a fan, to be upset with the company for cutting somebody who a lot of people felt had talent.
Number two gets to be the hero in a lot of respects in shit, like in wrestling. Number two, number three, they get to be the hero when number one fucks up. Do you know what I mean? Like in that scenario, you guys screwed up. You don't know what you did firing Billy Kay.
You're right.
You will rue, once again, you will rue the day that you fired Tucker. Like this is the way that people, because they're number one. Yeah. So they get to sit back, and then when number two or number three swoops in, you go, yeah, that's right. See, they're so much smarter than number one.
Yeah.
They're so much better because fill in the blank.
It was funny because Lightning said, well, how do fans feel when a star player from their team gets traded and wins a title there? I'm like, Joey was fine.
Yeah, I didn't care.
Joey was okay. I'm sure. You know what, though? I mean, if we had to be honest, I'm sure you would have rather him won it in New England.
Of course, but I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Because the relationship deteriorated.
Right.
There wasn't, like... That's one of these things, like, you have to kind of approach it from, like, a very healthy way.
Right.
Just the same exact way. It's like, do I really, really watch fucking AEW? No, not really.
It's like, difficult for me. I watch when I can, and I'm sorry, and I just got to be an honest fan here too. Is I will watch yesterday's episode was put over very well. There was a lot of people that fucking loved it. Obviously, the numbers reflect that. You know, I got to go back and watch the whole thing, but no, on a weekly basis, it's difficult for me because there's a lot of down parts to it.
Yeah, right.
You know,
you're shining off a lot of poop to get to the diamond.
Right.
There.
I'd rather spend my time watching NXT. I'd rather spend my time watching NWA. I'd rather spend my time praying to the Sky Genie that fucking WoW comes back one day. You know.
I'd rather just go in my kitchen and stare in the corner like
Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. I'd rather just do that.
What's Joey cooking in the basement?
What's that? What's that sound? What's that? Like, I'd legitimately rather do that than watch 90% of the shows that are on television for wrestling right now. But I'm not actively watching it. But by the same coin, like, I see them bring in Aleister Black. I see them bring in Malachi, whatever. Like,
yes.
I like this motherfucker when he was Tommy End.
Right.
I liked him when he was on the Indies. Anybody that's actively listening to the show will remember me saying when this guy got signed, I said, star, star, star. If they fuck this up, they should be ashamed of themselves. Lo and behold, they fucked it up.
No way.
So, I know, shocking. And so now if this guy does go to AEW, or he continues being an AEW, and he becomes more than just Cody's feeder, and he can, have good programs and have great matches and, sell a bunch of T-shirts, make money for them, put people to, I got to buy a ticket because I want to go see fucking Malachi Black. Yeah. I want to see him fight, whomever. Like, oh, cool. All right. I can fuck with that. Yeah. I'm not going to sit there and be angry like, he should be doing that in WWE. How dare he do it somewhere else?
Right.
Like, it's baby
but
shit.
There's that's silly fanaticism that people will now turn on Malachi Black. There will be a lot of fans, and I'm sure there's people that turned on. I was going to say Sean Spears and fucking Jack Swagger, but there wasn't really many people that were.
Yeah, Jack Swagger had to have fans. I love that's like one of my favorite things about the firings, other than like the funny shows we get to have, is the people that pretend like they were fans of these fucking people.
There were so many. There were so many bus flips
tolerated
this year.
them, Mish, that they were fans.
Dude, the fact that people were upset by the writer getting fired, the one that didn't even know about WWE. Come on, man. There were people upset, like another minority loses their job from WWE. I'm like, yes, because it's a minority, not the fact that she has no fucking clue what she's doing there.
Right, not the fact that she did a terrible job of selling herself in any capacity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, do you know what? Do you know what would truly bother me? This is what would truly bother me if they were to fire a writer, and we were to find out that was somebody that was really lobbying for good talent and really had some good ideas, like some of the better storylines they were putting them up on the board, and then coming in third, it was also a woman or a person of color or fill in the blank if they were gay, whatever the fuck. I'd be like, oh, so not only did they fuck this up, they also fucked up the opportunity to have somebody who they could sit there and say, see, we don't just put old white guys in this position. It's, anybody can do this if they're fucking smart and driven enough. Like, I would look at that and go, okay, now that's a fuck up. But if they had some girl like, who's, took a weekend off from the I Cry Alone podcast, which is a comedy podcast, by the way, to show up and be like, okay, so like, what if they fought because they're real mad at each other? Like this guy was like, hey, you gonna eat that? And he's eating too much, so he makes him feel bad. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Just go home. Like, I'm supposed to feel bad. I'm supposed to feel bad. That person doesn't have a job doing something that most casual fans that you know would do a better job
murder
at.
For. You're right. You have so many people chomping at the bit that even if they don't have the required... That was the other thing, too, is because we pointed out the fact that there was... The requirements were, well, we would like to know if you've watched WWE, but it's not a requirement. Do you know what wrestling is? No? That's okay.
That's all right.
Have you seen a television before? No? Not a problem. Can you write letters? That's a requirement.
Shouldn't it have been eye-opening to them this year? And I know this is expecting a lot, but shouldn't it have been eye-opening to them this year that two of their biggest success stories were a 140-pound Puerto Rican Latin pop star and a random Yinzer guy that used to kick for the fucking Colts coming in and picking up everything faster than 95% of the people they've paid for a decade? Shouldn't that?
I'm in a different category because I think that there's a lot of positives going on with WWE right now. I'm really in favor of the Big E push for the Money in the Bank. I'm really in big favor of the Kofi Bobby Lashley thing. I think MVP has done a fucking bang up. This is his breakout year. For as many fucking years as that guy's been popping around in and out of companies, he finally found his strike. 2021 is the MVP breakout year. It is. It's so
great.
weird.
At like 48 years old.
Right.
He's got it.
This motherfucker dusted it off at 48 years old. Right.
Yeah. He's finally clicking on all cylinders.
But you know what?
I mean, he also started the business late, too. So
but I'll fucking take it. I'll fucking take it. We're at a point right now. I will take another Diamond Dallas Page. Fucking throw him out there. You know, I'm okay with that. MVP is fucking wow. He is absolutely amazing. He is such a believable fucking manager too.
Once again, like we were just talking about them being like they fired this writer who's like this person of color and blah blah blah. Like I see all the shit that's going on with whatever's left of the Hurt business now, and I say in my mind, I go, how is this so seemingly unintentionally progressive? But by progressive, I mean not regressive or a huge fucking stereotype.
Right.
And they're doing such a great job with it, and it's fucking great, and people love it for the most part. How is this going on at the same time as like Street Profits and Yo-Yo Money Rap Crew? And nobody sits there and goes,
well, because
hey.
Oh my god, you dude, fucking point, absolute point.
How does no one say that?
It is literally WWE is a bipolar storyline. Yeah. It is literally the storyline for people that fall asleep every 5 minutes. It's like if you time it just right, Raw is amazing every week, guys. You just gotta time it right.
If you guys have seen the movie Memento, that's keeping the ratings afloat.
Holy shit!
1,500,000 people exactly like him.
SmackDown and Raw has some really fucking good shit. It does. I'm sorry. I know people are like, fuck Raw, fuck Smack. It's not horrible. It's just the shit that is horrible is really horrible. Really horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mish, I told you, I mean, I made the joke about it earlier, but I still can't get the image out of my mind of Drew McIntyre standing up and hitting the table with the sword.
Oh, dude, that's
I
hilarious.
think that's one of the funniest fucking things. Like,
it needed cartoon sound effects, though. Whoa, 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 whoa. As it's wobbling.
You can't tell me that's not like something that would happen in a like Red Letter Media B-movie like review.
Right.
The best of the worst shitty movie. Like, look at this awful piece of media.
Oh, it would be Black Spine edition. Come on. Let's not give it that much credit. It would be the Black Spine episode is what that fucking Drew McIntyre shit would be.
Oh, yeah,
it's but like you said, it's up and down. The Piper Niven stuff, like people are worried about the Piper Niven stuff with fucking or I should say Doudrop, which apparently DT figured out the joke or somebody let him know. I guess the joke is do drop weight.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's the full name or some shit like that. And I'm like, oh, this reeks of Vince. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. Oh, my God. Dewdrop. Dewdrop, wait, ha ha ha.
Right.
Ha ha ha.
If there's any legitimacy to that, that's horrendous. That's fucking, because nobody could figure out where the fuck did Dewdrop come from. It doesn't make any sense. And so now that somebody
it came
fucking
from Munchkin Donuts in New England, that's what I thought initially. But
well, that's not any better.
no,
we're gonna name you after a donut. You know, it's just.
By the way, if that really is the meaning of it, like it's, you know what, it's almost better to just not put these people on television if your whole goal is to, on the sly, embarrass and humiliate them.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Here's the bonus, and this is
like just don't bother. Then
here's the bonus. Though this is what I said was the bonus, because you had Nia Jax, who they tried to do the same shit to, and then she came out with the body positivity message after she fucking beat the living hell out of Alexa Bliss. Remember that whole angle between Bliss and Nia Jax? And she grabbed the microphone afterwards and said, "This is all for the fat camp kids. I love you all. Be strong. You live long and prosper." And I was like, oh, shut up. You're literally ruining the character.
And then immediately she blew out both of her ACLs and couldn't wrestle for a year.
But Piper, the cool thing about Piper is, as long as they don't do that to her, as long as they don't give her a stupid fucking political message to sit there and say, the fact that she's kind of like a Batista, like Eva Maria saying all this shit and everybody's saying all this shit around her, but she knows better. She's almost like breaking the fourth wall every time she looks into the camera. Like she's doing the Tamina Snuka shit from back in the day, and I'm kind of digging Piper Niven here. As long as they do that, where she knows better and she's not falling for the bullshit, I'm like, you can really turn her into kind of a badass. Because it's making it very clear that she's only out there using Eva in order to get the position that she's in, and that's pretty cool, right?
Which that is cool. Like that's actually just being like, okay, I'm kind of turning this on its head.
Yeah.
I'm using the system to work my way into this, even though I'm somebody that's not supposed to be here.
Right.
Technically, because of X. Which, by the way, if you look at her. This is another one of those like funny things. Like, by the way, and I know I'm not saying this just because she's also British, but she reminds me very much so of like an Adele, where everyone's like, look how heavy she is. Oh my God. But if you look at her face, it's
there's nothing. Look,
she's super pretty, dude. She's a super pretty woman. Like, she's just a heavier woman. That's all.
There's not much wrong with her. That's all I'm going to sit there and say. There is not much wrong with Piper Niven at all.
No. Oh, no. That's the funniest thing I think is going to be about this is if Vince is needling her with that name or writer is or whatever, or they're trying to give shit to these people. Like, what you got to realize is there's millions of men and women in this country.
Thank you. There is a large contingent of people that like a larger bodied, a thicker bodied woman.
They would take that. They would take her. They would take her out for 3 nice steak dinners, without question. And they would have a
absolutely. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if a girl like Piper probably gets hit on a little bit more than a girl like Eva.
Oh, probably because she's somewhat approachable as a human being.
Right? Eva's so unapproachable. She's so unobtainable. She has this image of like she's just in next tier. That even if you were on the level physically to go out with a girl like her, you would still think that she's unobtainable because of the level she's at in her world. But a Piper Niven seems like a girl you can go out and fucking take to the gun range and start shooting shit with. Right. You know?
I could say this with ease. The most attractive guys that I know, that I've grown up with and who are my friends, who I've seen really, they've pulled some pretty good looking girls in their lives.
Sure.
You look at them and you go, they'd still look at her and be like, yeah, no thanks.
Right.
They'd be like, that's just, there's too much going on there. I don't want to step into that.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with thick women Cal. Nothing at all, dude. We were talking about Nia. Look, Nia's a good looking woman too. I understand that. Nia's issue
I think
for
she
me
just sucks as a person
and
a wrestler.
It's her personalities. You know what? She's done some cool things for kids. Like I've seen what she's done for kids online, and that's nice. You know, but but overall, her personality's kind of whiny. It's not somebody that I could even. You know what it is? I think when you fantasize, and I'm just putting this out here, and I'm not necessarily going in the sexual direction, but if you fantasize about the idea of meeting these people and taking them out on a date, You want to fantasize that the personality is agreeable with you.
It's also fun.
Yeah, right. You don't want to fantasize that, oh, well, I got to watch my P's and Q's around Naya because I don't want to say the wrong thing or else this date's going to go like shit. Like, if your first premise, your first thought is, what should and shouldn't I say in order for this date to go well? Chances are you don't want to date a person like that.
Right. Well, why do you think Becky blew up the way she did?
Right.
Because women saw her and they were like, she seems tough and cool.
Right.
She seems like she would be a chick that's not only tough, but she would be someone like a girl would want to go, get coffee with and fucking go, do whatever the fuck they want to do. Hey, you want to go, like, have a nice day. They want to go have breakfast. Like, she could be their girlfriend, like a girlfriend of theirs.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the fucking Louvies or whatever and spend $400 for a fucking steak, you know?
Right. Like, think about this. You got to go to breakfast on a Sunday morning, right?
Right.
You're by yourself or whoever, and you're sitting there and you got to make a choice. Oh, who am I going to go to breakfast with? Who would you rather go with? Becky Lynch or Nia Jax?
Right. Becky in a heartbeat.
Who are you going to have more of
in
a
a
good
heartbeat.
time with?
Even if she is married to Seth. You know?
Yeah, you just forget that. You just you just don't go, hey, how did that happen? You seem really cool.
He tripped and fell, huh?
Yeah. You don't pull up people on the internet to fucking Naomi and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
He slipped on a banana peel, you say. Oh, yeah. Poor Becky.
How? You know, like, you'd have to keep that to yourself because you're a respectable person.
Right.
But there's a part of that attraction for most people.
Sure.
Especially people who are successful in entertainment.
Yeah.
Is you look at them as a person that's mildly intuitive and you go, yeah, but they also seem cool.
Right. You know who seems cool like that? Like, they must have had a good relationship even beforehand, especially when he was going kind of cuckoo back on his fucking, what was it, Michelob Ultra 64 and his grapes. Matt Hardy and Rebby. Yeah. They just had their baby girl, another one of the clan. Evie Moore Hardy was born on Sunday, July 11th. Yes.
You know what? I'm happy for them too, because not only, I've worked a handful of shows with Matt, and every time he was just super gracious and awesome. Yeah. And there's very few things in my entire wrestling career that meant a lot to me, as far as, I would look back on it as a kid and be like, wow, that was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But like getting to referee a Hardy Boys match in hindsight actually means something to me, because I just loved them when I was a kid. I fucking loved them. But like, it's nice to see that, because clearly this is a couple that they love kids. They want to have as many kids as possible. And I'm glad they got their girl.
Yeah, they got 4 now. They got Maxwell, who is now 6, Wolfgang, who's 4, Bartholomew, who's 19 months, and now Evie.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
That is. But you know what? Those are good ages. When the oldest is 6, that is a good age, because they're all relative. Basically, let's be honest, Bartholomew is going to be getting a lot of hand-me-downs.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Bart's going to be wearing a lot of shirts with...
I'm Robert Conti, Chief of the Metropolitan Police Department, and I need your help. Dangerous driving on DC streets has risen dramatically, resulting in tragic fatalities. Together, we can reverse this trend. So join me in our commitment to adopt safe driving behaviors in the district. Never speed, drive impaired, or drive distracted. Too much is at stake to be careless behind the wheel, and our officers are committed to a safer community. And you should too. Please help us by ending all dangerous driving behaviors.
When your celebration of life is prepaid in advance, it becomes a gift from you to your family later, because no one should have to plan for a loss while they're experiencing one. Paying in advance protects your loved ones and gives you the peace of mind you deserve. Let us help you plan every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're your local Dignity Memorial provider. Find us at dignitymemorial.com. When your celebration of life is prepaid in advance, it becomes a gift from you to your family later, because no one should have to plan for a loss while they're experiencing one. Paying in advance protects your loved ones and gives you the peace of mind you deserve. Let us help you plan every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're your local Dignity Memorial provider. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Fuzzies in the armpits. That's for
yeah,
sure.
Pretty much.
I mean, I know they got the money and everything, but it's the fact of the
When you
matter,
have that many kids, though, you're not buying them all of them brand new outfits every goddamn month because kids grow so fucking fast. But
Absolutely,
I mean, they got a giant compound, they got a big family. Like, you know, they are probably one of the better success stories. They really are.
Yeah, he is, for all intents and purposes, one of the stories in wrestling that could have ended in pure fucking horror.
Oh, it was too for a while there. It was a little scary.
Sure.
You know?
Oh yeah.
I mean, when that fucking borderline between him and Lita and Edge, you know, was it storyline? Was it real?
It goes farther even than that, man.
Sure.
The fucking, I mean, clearly he had issues with drugs at points. Like,
yeah,
there was some real fucking dark days in that dude's life. So, you know, even when people sit around and, you know, there's a lot of people who are tough on Rebby or whatever, but realistically,
I love that girl. She's fucking. Yeah. She's somebody I would like to interview. I know we've talked about interviews before, but I would just like her raw thoughts on shit. You know?
She's somebody you want to talk to, not in an environment where it's recording. Because you get the real shit out of her.
I wouldn't even want to talk about wrestling with her. I just want to talk about fucking how is your life? What's it like being Rebby Hardy in this shit?
Yeah, she's she seems like a cool motherfucker, dude. For real. Like I think people are tough on her, but I think deep down, first of all, any man would be lucky to have a wife like that.
Yeah.
Where she's just
in the beginning, dude. I remember years ago, me and you doing a show where she was kind of a flank. We thought she was kind of a flake because Matt Hardy was doing the suicide stuff. Remember all that shit?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? But it led to this fucking healthy relationship with 4 kiddos and a mansion in the sky. You know.
They're doing just fine. And by the way, I mean, I don't like what they've had Matt doing on AEW television, but the guy wants to be active. He wants to be involved in the business. So it's going to be what it's going to be. Right. They're also giving him exactly what the dude has wanted pretty much the past decade of his career, which is just complete creative control. Yeah. So what are you going to say? And by the way,
he's done well with it too. I mean, let's be honest. Some of the reinvention of Matt Hardy was some of the best shit ever.
No, that's what I was going to say. I mean, if there's anybody in that company that deserves the right to look at someone and say, hey, I can make my own shit and I can make it good, it's him. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, if you stop and you think about it. Chris Jericho, obviously. I mean, Jericho can figure out how to make himself. I mean, he's just got to get out of his own fucking way because the dude's head is just bigger than the fucking planet at this point. But other than him, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? Like, is Jungle Boy going to look at him and be like, well, with my proven track record of staring stoically at the camera with no fucking affect whatsoever, you should listen to me about the brilliant idea that I have. It's like, no, Matt Hardy and fucking guys like Chris Jericho have every right to look at them and be like, yeah, I'm creative and I can come up with something for you.
Next guy on the list for the week as far as the relationship shit goes, Sheamus got engaged and proposed to his girlfriend. What is her? How do I
Lobsterhead? He finally married Lobsterhead?
Oh, yeah. Well, engaged.
Oh, okay. It's a shame. It's not a shameful thing.
Revilla. She's a 24-year-old Filipina girl, and she lives in Nashville.
That sounds like Revilla?
Revilla.
Is it Reveille?
Is it? No, it's Revilla.
Hey, good for him.
Revilla.
Isabella Revilla. Wow, that's
there you go. There's the pick. Thanks, Phil.
You know what? This is what I like. I like seeing couples like this. You know why? Because I look at
beautiful kids. Can you imagine the fucking kids? You have like a dark-skinned Filipina girl, a little bit younger, and then you have Mr. Glow-in-the-Dark stick.
No, you know what? I like seeing couples like this because to me, there's no bullshit about that. This is not like you look at this and you go, and by the way, I'm not sitting here like running down Sheamus's looks or anything, but you know when sometimes people like clearly he's a guy. He's got some status. Some status.
He's been around long enough on TV for him to have
no
that
one
status.
gives a shit about wrestling, dude. I'm saying, like, he's got some little status, and he's got money or whatever.
He's got more status than the fucking weatherman, though. Come on, dude.
That's true. But, like, you can tell, like, this is not an ideal thing. Like, she's not looking at him. Like, the same way, like, Nikki Bella chased down Goofy John Cena.
Oh, that was
in her mind, she's like, this is my Prince Charming. Yeah. He looks like blah, blah, blah. It's like, he's not a bad-looking guy or whatever, but, like, this is just kind of a goofy, pale Irish dude that likes silly fake fighting.
Right.
And, don't get me wrong. She's stunning. So it's like, it's nice. I like seeing couples like that.
Yeah.
I like seeing that. And I wish them all the best, even though I'm glad that Sheamus learned how to wrestle in 2020.
She said, if magic
his
exists...
relationship, all the success in the world.
If magic exists, Joe, it had to be in Ireland. Well, it does exist. I couldn't imagine a more magical place to say yes. Couldn't imagine a better person to spend my life with. So, that's nice.
Hell yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm fucking happy. You know what? I'm happy for him, and I'm also happy for the fact that Sheamus is like, what at this point? He's got to be 35. He's going to be around. He's going to be,
35? Older than that,
he's got to be, maybe. He's got to be, late 30s?
What is the...
How old is Sheamus?
Sheamus is...
I was going to say, at least he was smart enough to, like, wait to get married.
43 years old.
He's 43?
Yeah, Kevin got
Shit. All right, well, so he's a grown-ass man. He's up there. So good look on him, because, you don't want to just marry the first fucking... You get a little bit of fame.
Yeah, she's 24 and he's 43. Wow. All right. He does not look 43. Yeah, who just said that? Lightning? You're right, dude. He does not look like a 43-year-old man. He gets points for that. Maybe it's because, the white skin hides all the wrinkles. Or, just there's no color on the wrinkles. I'm not sure.
Well, he takes care of himself, too.
Of course.
I mean, he does. The guy goes, he's in fucking good shape, and cool.
Just not his nose, but, it's all right.
Good for them. I hope they're fucking... I hope all the happiness in the world for them. Good for Sheamus.
Yeah. So, there's a little thing that happened over the week, too, that I believe me and you talked about a little bit in private. We got a couple of nods from different websites and YouTubers and oh my god, what else? I sent you that too. I'm trying to remember who they were, and I don't want to be a dick. Let me pull this.
YouTubers? Oh, I only know the one that I saw.
I sent you a couple. Yeah, no, there was other people that fucking talked about it, but so Tamara,
okay.
Old Sunny Sitch there. She is on the hunt, if you will, for new talent to help her with her new OnlyFans. Yeah. Let me see. Oh shit. Yeah, Whoa. Wrestling Hub covered it. WWF Old School covered us. But Tammy is putting out a tweet there. And she says, "Hey guys and girls."
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Hey guys. Hey guys.
You're gonna need 3 flickers from a cigarette lighter before you start this.
Oh.
Like a Lil Wayne song in the 2000s.
Hey guys and girls. I'm looking for a co-star for some pics and videos.
Oh, boy.
I think I got blocked.
By Sonny?
Yeah.
I mean, what for?
Oh, come on. Because I was looking up the original tweet. I was looking up the... I got blocked. Come on now, Sonny.
Apparently, if you get quoted on 4 different news sites, that's when...
Well, because I also sent out a little tweet to the fans, and I'm like, Sonny needs you to help create OnlyFans content, guys. Leave the most deep-dickingest, ball-slingiest, cum-dumpsterous, just this side of legal voicemails that will entice a POC-hating queen to choose you. Do you think that? You think that maybe that's why I got blocked?
Yeah, that might have done it. That might have done it. But you know what, though? I mean, does she not expect there to be any sort of like, okay, people were talking, I saw people posting about her doing like the I keep wanting to say AEW clearly, but the AIW show or whichever one it was. And obviously people are saying shitty things to her in the comment thread or, you know, what the fuck are you using her for or whatever. And I saw some guy and he was like, you know, she's just trying to get her life back on track. Everybody's so mean to her. I'm like, are we really arguing the sanctity of Sonny's 755,000th fucking chance?
Oh, I'm not blocked. Okay.
Are we really?
Okay. I'm not blocked. It was just that one post was blocked. Okay. Yeah, because I said, I wonder if Hulkster's willing to drop the third leg, brother.
Yeah, that went over like Rover. I had multiple people send me that. They were like, did you know that this was there? I'm like, yeah. Oh, what was the thing that Ringside News fucking cracked me up?
Oh,
they were like, some random people to give her to troll or whatever. I'm like, yeah, random people, just a top 20 content creator in pro wrestling on Patreon, you know. But
does Ryan Satin want to drop the third dildo?
Is he still with WWE? He's got to be, right?
I thought that whole gig was with Fox, and I don't even know.
It was Fox, maybe? Yeah, whatever. Hopefully he's taking them for fucking money, because at this point, you know, we're making fun of these people for not knowing what wrestling is. At least he kind of knows what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess that should be like the last note on that whole situation with him, is we should just be like, well, he's got a job, but at least he kind of knows what wrestling is at this point, so cool.
So we got a couple of voicemails, Joe.
Oh, I bet we do.
We got a couple of voicemails from friends of the show, and also people very interested in probably debuting or audio debuting for the potential of being Sonny's next sexual partner.
Well, this is also another thing too, and you know, I didn't want to kind of give this away to everybody.
All right.
But you guys know, like, we're always like on our grind, right?
Yes.
Like Gary V style, we're on our grind. We're always looking for that. What's Gary V say? Our passive income. That's what we're. So, like, I think what we're looking to do by getting these people to call in and find somebody for Sonny is we can finally start our freelancing company where we get Z-list celebrities to get dick down. And we're like the agents of it.
Oh, man. It almost makes us pimps.
Yeah. No. It's not that. It's not that. That's not pimping at all.
Oh, okay.
We're like grinding, like Gary V. We're grinding, dude. You got to be on your grind, and you got to say shit and fuck a lot, because that lets people know that you're like real serious.
All right. Cool.
So let's get with this shit fuck.
Let's start with the first one.
I want to hear this fuck.
His name is Maz.
Maz. Let's hear your shit, Maz. Shit. Fuck.
Hi, Sonny. I'm in debt. What is your price, and what's my cut after all this? 'Cause I need to get out of this debt. It's hard out here. Please help a brown brother out.
Yo, is that Maz's whole tape?
Maz sounds attractive.
All right,
except for that brown pot.
Yo, as grinders, once again, because we grind all day, we wake up and we get right to work, and we always work. I gotta say, it's not cool to be talking about money right off the bat like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta tell us about your skills. You gotta sell your skills to Sonny.
Let's be honest here. What kind of work environment do you believe it would be to work with Tamara Sitch? What kind of expectations do you think would be involved in making an OnlyFans video with Sonny?
You gotta breathe.
Okay.
That's important. You
Mars can breathe. Okay.
You gotta be alive.
You got to have no gag reflexes, right?
Some genitals? You have some genitals.
No gag reflexes. There's going to be a little bit of farting going on. You probably want to be able to, like, filter that out.
You gotta pretend you're excited.
Do you have to? Do you have to eat the booty like groceries, Joe?
I think you know what? I think you gotta eat the booty like fucking swallowing cough medicine. Probably that's what. Just hold your nose and down the hatch. I think that's how that would go, right? Just gotta. Yeah, they're groceries maybe, but they're like from the dumpster.
Yeah, they're Aldi's instead of like Whole Foods, you know?
From the Aldi dumpster. Eat on that booty. How does it down on the booty? So I don't know. I mean, like I said, once again,
sure.
You know, for part of our company here, I gotta give Maz's. What are you going to give him out of 10?
What kind of... Well, before we can get to that, let's be proactive in what Mars needs. Mars is very concerned about his budget and his finances, which makes perfect sense. I mean, when you're an actor and an entertainer, you have to almost be fiscally minded whenever you're taking a job.
Right, but he also should be grinding.
Yes.
The grinding is the most important part.
What kind of percentage do you think that Sonny would cut Mars?
I told you we don't talk business. We don't talk business, man.
We don't talk business. Okay, all right, fair enough.
You don't talk about money. Listen, fuck shit fuck, as Gary Vee would say. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself, man. You gotta show me how you're gonna make me rich before we can say, yo, we can also make you rich too.
So if we're talking like a multi-picture deal, then we can talk a little bit about the finances.
Right.
I got you.
So I'm gonna rate that. I'm gonna give it out of 10. I'm going to give it 3 out of 10.
Maz only gets a 3 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
I would have given him higher than that. I would say Maz gets a 5. He gets an even 5. I think he's right down the middle. He was to the point. He knows exactly what he wants, and he knows exactly what he has.
So you're a Paul Abdul today.
I'm
and
thinking.
I got to be Simon Cowell.
Yeah, you got to be Simon. Actually, you know what, dog? I just want
to... funky fresh dog shit. Shit, fuck, dog.
That's a no for me, dog.
That's a no for me, dog. Funky fresh dog.
Let's go to candidate number 2, Rye Baker.
Okay. I like the name.
Not only am I not a fan of what Sonny is doing, the only thing, Sonny, I like is the bright sky when I wake up in the morning and take a walk. This is terrible, and as a young Christian man, I can't even believe that this website exists. This is Ryan Baker coming with some hard facts about all this bullshit going on today in society. I'll tell you what, back in my day we opened up a Playboy and that was that. Maybe I can't fucking believe it. Wrestling suit motherfuckers.
Ryan Baker. Yes.
I think he's trying to make it seem like he doesn't want the job. You know what I mean? But he's playing it a little too cool.
Sonny's a Christian woman too, though, Joe. I'll make him say, oh, God, at least 4 times. That's my promise to him and Jesus.
Yeah, except it'll sound like this. Oh, God.
Oh,
God.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. And maybe oh, God, no. You didn't include the no.
I'll have you reading the good book while you're doing bad things.
You know what though? I don't know. I didn't hear the grind in that.
Oh.
I didn't hear a lot of grind, so I gotta rate that. That's a 0. That's a 0. That's a 0 out of 10.
You don't rate 8 mate for all that bait?
Nope. That's a no.
That's a no from Joe,
chair.
dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's go.
Adam Levine, yo.
You know what? Let's go to the next one. The next one's got to be good. Regular from the show, fucking friend of ours. Let's go with Phil the Promoter.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey, Sonny. What's going on, babe? I got to say, you're a Titanic twatcher, you know? In and out of jail for how many years? What, 20 years? 25 fucking years? Get your fucking act together already. My God. Anyway, much love. Phil the Promoter out. Peace.
You know, Phil, some guys like a girl who's been behind bars.
You know what? I like that. I think that was good. He tried to establish a good rapport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was nagging her a little bit. You know what I mean? He was being a little, hey, you gotta change this about yourself. Maybe you gotta think about that.
Sometimes the lady's behind the bar, and sometimes she's in front of it.
And sometimes she's sitting on it.
Sometimes she's squatting under one.
And by a bar, do you mean Xanax? All right. You know what? There was some grind to that. What do you think?
There was a little bit. There was some rumble in that one. I like that one. Yeah.
There was some grind.
Yeah, you go on to the next level there, Phil.
What are you gonna give Phil? I think Phil moves on to the next. He definitely moves on to the next round.
Him and Maz. I liked Maz.
The rich and powerful want us to think the economy is a line on a stock market ticker. That's wrong. The economy is powered by us. It's what we create, what we buy, what we need. President Biden has proposed bold public investments in jobs and families, but more is needed. We need housing, healthcare, caregiving, action on the climate crisis, and millions of good-paying jobs. This is our moment to finally unlock prosperity for all of us. For more information, go to prosperus.org. That's prosperus.org. The rich and powerful want us to think the economy is a line on a stock market ticker. That's wrong. The economy is powered by us. It's what we create, what we buy, what we need. President Biden has proposed bold public investments in jobs and families, but more is needed. We need housing, healthcare, caregiving, action on the climate crisis, and millions of good-paying jobs. This is our moment to finally unlock prosperity for all of us. For more information, go to prosperus.org. That's prosperus.org. The rich and powerful want us to think the economy is a line on a stock market ticker. That's wrong. The economy is powered by us. It's what we create, what we buy, what we need. President Biden has proposed bold public investments in jobs and families, but more is needed. We need housing, healthcare, caregiving, action on the climate crisis, and millions of good-paying jobs. This is our moment to finally unlock prosperity for all of us. For more information, go to prosperus.org. That's prosperus.org.
I don't even like Maz, but I liked Maz.
He talked business right off the jump.
Yeah, but you know what? That just shows he's a hard-hitting individual. Mars is willing to get the hard work done. You know?
All right,
he's not waiting around the side of a fucking Home Depot. He's in there right now telling Tammy, look, I need the money. I'll
jumping
do
in
it.
the back saying, I'm ready to inhale.
You know what Mars
drywall.
didn't do? Mars didn't give us a list of things that he wouldn't do. He didn't say he wouldn't eat the booties like all these groceries. He didn't say that. Yeah, he didn't care about what he had to do. He didn't care that he had to change her oil. He didn't care if she was going to strawberry swirly him. He didn't give a shit. Mars was all in. Mars just cared about getting down to the brass tacks of finances. I really think you should reevaluate Mars and think of him to go to the next level. I do.
All right. Well, I'm giving Phil a 6 out of 10.
Phil gets a 6.
I think that's fair.
Phil gets a 6. Well, the next one up on the card, we have Gay Anna.
Oh, this is good.
Yes.
This is good.
Yes.
We want to have a diverse
absolutely
group of individuals on this site.
Maybe you can have people sharing toys. That could be fun. That's a new thing that she hasn't done on her site before.
Product placement.
Absolutely. Somewhere below the waist.
There'll be placement of products.
My name is Sonny, and I need you to buy more